Right now, the day's biggest news stories from a Vegas perspective. This is the Vegas Take with Sharp and Shapiro.
Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? The Vegas Take back at you on a Tuesday. Sharp and Shapiro, so glad you could join us. Also streaming live on the Vegas Take YouTube page. And we got a big show in store for you today, as we always do. But, you know, sometimes I lie and I hype up a show when maybe it doesn't deserve to be as hyped as it is today. We do have some huge guests coming on the show. Coming up here at the bottom of the hour, Congresswoman Dina Titus. And why is it so important to have her in studio? Well, she has been a part of this impeachment inquiry, a former panel member. And she has been privy to some classified information, and she has been behind closed doors. What does she think about this impeachment inquiry? The details, we are going to go over all of it with her coming up at the bottom of the hour. So she's going to be joining us in about, 25 minutes or so. The homeless problem in Las Vegas continues. What do I mean by that? Well, now a new ordinance being put in place by Carolyn Goodman, which I completely disagree with. Whereas if you are sleeping in the streets, you could be fined up to $1,000. If you're homeless, I don't know how you have access to up to $1,000, and you go to jail.
Yeah, you can also be arrested. That's very interesting.
So we're going to talk about that with Minister Stretch Sanders coming up in hour number 2. UNLV basketball opening up the season today against a team called Purdue-Fort Wayne. No, not that Purdue, not the Boilermakers. Purdue-Fort Wayne, they're in the Summit League. Game 1 of the TJ Otzelberger era tonight at the Thomas & Mack Center. So we'll talk about that. A Popeye stabbing over a chicken sandwich, the new chicken sandwich. Yeah, it's a wild story. We'll get to that. And if you had a chance to catch Monday Night Football last night, a black cat stole the show. The game sucked. We'll talk about this cat controversy. O.J. Simpson with a new video out. So a lot to get to, a lot to go over. And normally, I never start off the show talking about UNLV football. And this might be the only time, other than the fact that I think the inevitable that Tony Sanchez is going to be fired. As you know, Tony Sanchez, the former Bishop Gorman high school football coach, got the job here at UNLV over 4 years ago. And I said it then that I thought it was a bad hire, even though we like Tony Sanchez. He's a really good dude. But I said you can't hire a high school coach with, and expect him to win and turn a program around when he's never coached at the college level. Well, I think it's inevitable. We've said all season if he doesn't make a bowl game, he's gone. Now he's mathematically out of making a bowl game. And he's being asked about that. And Desiree Reed-Francois, we request her to come on the show this week. They declined. She's apparently, quote-unquote, traveling, whatever that means. Maybe she's looking for a new football coach. I don't know. And I said it a million times. We like Tony. He's come on our show. He's never said no to us, and he's been very, very gracious with his time. And it's not personal, but he just hasn't gotten the job done here. And I think if you don't agree with that, then there's something wrong with you. You don't know anything about football. Well, apparently God doesn't know anything about football either. Let me explain. Tony Sanchez was asked after the game about his thoughts on do you think he should resign? Now, I think that's kind of a stupid question because a football coach is not going to resign midseason unless there's some sort of horrible controversy surrounding the team. Usually it's not wins and losses that would force a college football coach to resign. Usually it's some sort of scandal, I guess you could say, whether it's a sexual scandal or, I don't know, cheating, that sort of deal. So, no, I don't think Sanchez is going to resign. But here's the response he gave to the Review Journal. And he said, I tell myself I'm where I'm supposed to be. The Lord wants me here right now doing what I'm doing. If I worry about all that stuff, job security, how am I good for those kids anymore? First of all, I'm so tired. I am so sick and tired of people mixing sports and God into the equation. If there is a God out there and he wants Tony Sanchez at UNLV, then God is trying to hurt UNLV. God doesn't know anything about college football if that's the case. Why is Tony Sanchez bringing up God? I have no idea. But he has not done a good job here. And if not for the Fertitta connection, if not for the money that has been infused into the UNLV program, he probably wouldn't have returned for year 5. I think we all could probably agree on that one. He's a dead man walking. It's sad. I wish he succeeded here. He didn't. He's gone at the end of the year, period. There is no chance that he comes back. Maybe if the Fertittas are willing to sign a $100 million check to the university, maybe he would come back. But other than that, he's gone. But I have a problem with saying the Lord wants me here. What the hell does that mean? The Lord wants me here. We're not talking about sitting in church. We're not talking about your wife giving birth. We're not talking about everybody around the Christmas tree during the holidays, a family get-together. We're talking about coaching a UNLV football team for the 5th year not being bowl eligible. JD, I'm not a very religious person. You know that. But why is he interjecting the Lord into his response about coaching here at UNLV? He knows he's gone at the end of the year. Francois knows he's gone at the end of the year. Why is he bringing this stuff up?
I just think he's grateful to be where he's at right now. And you're right. He honestly wasn't really set up for success. You can't take a coach from Bishop Gorman who really doesn't have a lot of competition. They consistently have the best players. They are the standard. You take them to a school like UNLV who isn't in a position to pick up a lot of great recruits, and you force him to play in the type of games he never really had to coach in at Bishop Gorman because he was up by 30 half the time. You put him in a situation where he's down 10 or down 17 or it's tied at halftime and he has to make second half adjustments. A lot of those things that he needed to do at the college level to win games, he never had to do at the high school level. Mm-hmm. And so he had no experience with it at all. So he really wasn't put in a position for success. Now, I understand the Bishop Gorman, the Las Vegas connection, and the expectation was he could bring a lot of players like DeMarco Murray, who ended up going to Oklahoma from Bishop Gorman
we all agree,
to UNLV, and that didn't take place.
We all agree he's going to be gone, but what do you think about him bringing up the Lord into this conversation?
Again, I just think he's grateful to be where he's at. I mean, what else?
Why bring up God?
I'm not really going to look into what. I really don't care why he brought up God. It doesn't bother me at all.
It does bother me.
Okay, that's fine.
It actually bothers me when somebody hits a homer and then they point up to God, or they say, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving me the opportunity to play baseball. No, the reason why you're in the majors, the reason why you're in the NBA is because of your talent and because of your hard work.
Let's be honest. Tony Sanchez is making, what, $600,000 a year?
I guess you could thank the Lord for that.
Right now?
Yeah, I guess thank the Lord for that, yeah.
He's one of the highest state employees in the state of Nevada that isn't involved with a casino, I would imagine. So, I mean, you can't really fault the guy for being thankful for where he's at, considering he's probably made $3 or $4 million.
Okay, but that's not what he said, though.
Again, but I'm just saying, in my opinion, I think he's just grateful for where he's at, and I have no issue with that.
But he didn't say thank the Lord for let me be here for 4 years or give me an opportunity. He said, the Lord wants me to be here right now doing what I'm doing. I just don't understand that statement. Listen, there are a lot of fans that don't want him here now, right now, doing what he's doing. I'm sure there are a lot of people in the athletic department that don't want him here now doing what he's doing, but somehow the Lord wants him here, then I guess the Lord doesn't know anything about college football. I'm not trying to be facetious here. I just don't understand that statement. Now, listen, he's not forced to resign. I don't blame him for staying. I'm not going to fault him for staying. But don't tell me that the Lord wants you here. Don't come up with that garbage, because I'm sorry, I just don't like it. And to my knowledge, it's the first time he ever brought up the Lord into this conversation. But anyway, I just think it's inappropriate. I think it's wrong. I wish him the best. And yes, I'd say 99.9% there is no chance he is coming back for year 6. We're going to have a new football coach. We hope Francois makes a good hire and a good decision. And we're going to talk a little bit of UNLV basketball coming up in hour number 3 as they open the basketball season tonight. And we'll talk a little college hoops around the country. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I always talk about the racist witch, also known as Laura Ingraham on Fox News. She tells LeBron James to shut up and dribble. Well, she's not telling a bunch of the Washington Nationals players to shut up and play baseball. I'll explain what I mean by that coming up next. You're listening to The Vegas Take right here on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDON.